Hi everybody, Lauren with Remine here. Today I am super excited to go through our Lender Pro platform with you guys. This is a tool created to help loan officers like yourself see public record and tax information, prospect and lead generate, and keep up with past clients. Keep in mind, this is going over our Pro version, so it is at an upgraded charge. If you guys are on the starter version and you want to upgrade to the Pro, we're running a lot of awesome specials right now, so please feel free to reach out to me at lmartin@remine.com. I hope you guys learn a lot. Let's get started. So the first screen that you guys are going to come to when you log in is this search page. The search page allows you to search for some of your old clients, and it also allows you to prospect for new ones. Because you guys are on the Lender Pro version of Remine, you actually have the ability to search for anything you would like within the United States, including Hawaii and Alaska. So it doesn't have to be the state that you live in, it could be anywhere in the US. You have the ability to search by first and last name, address, zip code, school district, neighborhood, really anything you would like to search, you have the ability to do so up in this search bar in the top left-hand side of the screen. So if you wanted to, I could go in and type in, let's see, John Smith. First thing it's going to pull up is neighborhoods, and then right below it, you've got the people, addresses, and you're just going to click on whoever you're looking for, and it's going to take you into that person. Same thing goes for address. So I'm going to look up 8912 Edwardson Lane. Whoops. And this is in Austin, Texas. So 8912 Edwardson Lane. If I click on this address, it's going to zoom into that property on the map. So this little blue dot, that's that property we just searched, and it's going to show the parcel boundaries around it as well. Over here on the right-hand side in this list, the first property is going to be that property that you searched up in the search bar. So if I click on 8912 Edwardson Lane again, it's going to pull that property up to be the first card that appears here on the right. When I click on the address, it's actually going to take me into the property details page for this home. So this is great for a couple things. One, if you wanted to pull some information before meeting with a client. Two, if you sold a home to somebody 10 years ago and you wanted to reach out to them to refi, now that rates are so low, you could go in and check all of their information before you have a conversation with them, so you're having a more educated conversation. Two, if you're prospecting and you wanted to pull up people who might fit a criteria that you're looking for, you can cross-reference and check their data here as well. So there's a lot of things that you can do on this page, and I'm going to walk through the page with you. But over here on the left-hand side, you can see this home has been owned for about 12 and a half years. Shows you bedroom, bathroom count, the estimated value, which I'll go over in a little bit. And then you've got all the public record data. So things like maps, key stats, tax information, parking, you have an HOA estimate. But most importantly, right here, is the estimated net equity on the property. So the way that we pull this is we take a look at the valuation of the home provided to us by First American, all active mortgages held against the property, including if they've refied or taken out a HELOC. We run it through an amortization schedule, and out comes the estimated net equity. The reason this is an estimate and it's not 100% accurate, if they're paying down more on their loan, we wouldn't have that information. Or if they paid it off super recently, it takes a couple days for it to become public record and then reflected in Remine, but it is our best guess. Going into that net equity, you'll see over here on the right-hand side is the active mortgage information. If they had more than one, it's going to show active mortgage 1, below active mortgage 2. It's going to give you the original loan amount, the origination date, the loan term, the rate, the type of loan, details, the name of the lender, and the estimated payment on the loan. Below that, if you keep scrolling, you've got things like flood zoning, valuation. We pull in multiple different valuation models to give you an average. So first is First American, second Black Knight, third Redfin, all going up into this average valuation estimate. If you keep scrolling, you have things like the school district information, demographics, property history. Fun fact about the property history, we actually go back 20 years in public record data on the home. So you have property history, mortgage history, tax history, and assessments history. And then last but not least is the associated people with the property. So on the Remine Lender Pro platform, you'll actually have access to all of their contact information. So home phone number, if they still have one, cell phone number, and all active email addresses. I like to use this example because you can see here Lynn Delaney has one phone number right here, and Jan, there's none in here. It is because we do scrub against do not call on a monthly basis. So if the number was on do not call, it's not going to appear here. And it will give you any phone number that is not on the do not call registry, including emails. So this is great. Let's say if you sold a home to somebody a long time ago and you no longer have their current phone number, you can look up their phone number. If you're prospecting and you want to pull this list for a Facebook custom audience, you can do that. But it is going to show you the owners of the home. So if you see here, Lynn, she's duplicated. Part of the reason that might be is we do pull from multiple different contact sources for our contact information to make sure it's as accurate as we can be. So Lynn might have recorded her name differently, public record. But you can see here, she is still the same person. So Lynn Delaney and then Delaney Lynn. She's the owner of the home. Jan, she's not an owner. She could be an adult child. She could be a family member. She could be a roommate. Or if you look up at the top, a little trick under the key stats, if it said that this home was owner absentee, we could most likely collect that Jan is a renter, right? Because Lynn is not currently living in the property. So just a couple quick tips on what you can do with this page. You can add it to a cart so you can save this property to market to later. You can print off this entire property details page. Really, whatever you want to do with this data, it's all right here for you. All right, so now we're going to go over the search tab. So the search tab not only allows you to search by address, which is what we just went over, but it also allows you to search the map for opportunity. So this allows you to geofarm. In the search bar, you can narrow down your search criteria and search area really by anything that you would like. You can narrow it down by city, neighborhood, school district, zip code. Keep in mind, because you are on the Lender Pro version of Remine, you can also do this anywhere in the United States. One of my favorite ways to create your farm area is just going based on zip code. You also have the ability to draw in your own boundary lines. If you can see over here at the top right of the screen, you could click on the little polygon and say, hey, I only want this area, close the loop, and it's going to pull all the properties within that polygon that you just drew. So you can see 16,674 properties within this polygon. If you wanted to get rid of it, just click on the little X right here, and it's going to take you back to just the map. Keep in mind, this results up here, this is showing you how many parcels are in your field of view on the screen. So it could be a piece of land, a residential property, doesn't matter. It's all dictated as a parcel, and it's going to be on this screen. If you zoom in or zoom out, that number is going to change depending on what you're looking at until you draw in one of those boundary lines. And that's really going to be what's going to define your search based on a geographical area and not just what's in the map. So I'm going to type in, like I mentioned, my favorite thing to do is by zip code. So I'm going to do 22191. That's Woodbridge, Virginia. And if you wait a second, you'll see the results. It brings us down to close to 19,000 properties. And let's say you don't just want to do one zip code. You really want to focus on 2 different zip codes. It's super easy. All you have to do is type in that second zip code. So I'm going to do 22079, apply. And you'll now see on my screen, we're looking at those 2 neighboring zip codes, which equal to 31,556 results. If you wanted to get rid of a zip code, you're just going to click on this little X right here, and it's going to bring you back just to that 22191 zip code. Or you can hit clear all filters over here on the right hand side, which is just going to take you back to seeing those parcels on the map-based view, basically what's just in your screen in that rectangle. Once you've picked your area where you want to narrow down your searches, if you see over here in this left-hand bar, these are all of your filters. So these filters really change depending on if it's looking at public record data, if it's our own Remine algorithms, but this is going to change what your results show based on meets the criteria that you're overlaying. So I'm going to show you guys a couple of my favorite things to search for on the lender side. Let's start out with, I'm going to go down to the bottom, scroll down. First thing that I want to do is I'm going to take a look at loan type. So if I click on loan type, it allows me to see conventional, HELOC, FHA, VA, ARM, or other. So I'm going to look at FHA, apply, and that's going to take my 31,000 results, and it now narrows me down to 3,777 results. From here, we can take this close to 4,000 results, and we can go up a little bit. Under home equity, we can say, all right, not only do I want them to have an FHA loan, but I want to know that they have at least 20% or more in equity in their home. Apply. And that bumps me down to 2,428 homes who live in those 2 zip codes, have an FHA loan, and have 20% or higher in home equity within their property. This is a great list of people that you could reach out to about switching to a conventional loan now that they have 20% more in equity in their property. So that's just the first example. Another example that I'm going to show you guys is I'm going to get rid of FHA, we're going to get rid of home equity, and we're going to go back just to that the 31,556 results in those 2 zip codes. The second scenario that I'm going to give you guys is we all know that mortgage rates are extremely low right now. And I've seen a lot of loan officers use Remine and team up with their real estate agents, co-brand on marketing, and reach out to people who have a high mortgage rate and say, hey, I know that this neighborhood, a lot of houses sold back in 2008, 2009, typically have a rate of 5.5% or higher. Let's see if we can sell your home, get you into a bigger property or a bigger home or your dream home, and almost cut that mortgage rate in half, maybe even keep your payments the same. So that's what I've seen a lot of the messaging that people are doing right now. So let me walk you through how we're going to get those results. So we're going to take these 2 zip codes and we're going to say, okay, I want you guys to scroll down to the bottom and we want them to have a mortgage rate of 4% or higher. And keep in mind, some of this we can pull publicly recorded on the note. Some of it is our best guess, but it does stay, we like to see on average it stays between 0.25%. But for some cases, I just want to be clear, it is our best guess. But we're going to hit apply. And that bumps us from 31,000 homes down to a little over 7,000 properties. So these are 7,000 properties that have over a 4.5% on their mortgage. You could kick it up a notch and say, all right, I want them to have only a 6% or higher. Whatever you're looking for, you can do so up here. Just exit out of that 4.5 to 6%. You could also say, not only do I want them to have over a 4.5%, but I also want them to have had the mortgage for quite some time. So let's do 8 years. We're going to do 8 years minimum, apply. That bumps me down to 4,602 results. And then last but definitely not least, we can click on ownership status. And we can say, all right, we want them to be owner-occupant, because if I'm going to send a mailer to these people, I want to know that I'm reaching the owner of the home. I'm not wasting my marketing dollars on renters who's just going to throw that flyer out. So I'm going to click on owner-occupant, apply, and that bumps me down to 3,516 homes. So we took a list of 31,000 properties, and we've now cut it down to a little over 3,500 homes that have had the mortgage for 8+ years. That mortgage rate is 4.5% or higher, and they're owner occupant. So right here, this is a fantastic list of people to reach out to. Maybe you want to reach out to them to refi. Maybe you want to reach out to them to list. It's still a great list of homes, no matter which way you spin it. Last but not least, one thing that you can do if you are looking to reach out to these people to list their property and move into something bigger for a new purchase loan, you could go into Sell Score. So Sell Score is Remine's best guess at when someone's going to sell their property. This is not 100% correct. It's not the Holy Grail. It is our best guess based on a combination of factors being public record data, neighborhood data, and consumer file trends. So let's say, for example, we have Mary. Mary lives in a 1-bedroom condo in a downtown city. That's public record, right? Mary just got married. That's public record showing her 1-bedroom condos going from 1 person to 2 people. Mary lives in a notorious move-up neighborhood. We know on average those homes trade every 3 to 4 years, and she's paid a decent amount down on her mortgage. What is the likelihood that Mary is going to sell that 1-bedroom condo? So, low means not even on their radar at all to sell. Medium means 2 to 3 years. And high means highly likely to sell their property in the next 6 months to a year. Now, like I mentioned, this is not like the secret sauce. This is not the Holy Grail, but it does stand to be about 40 to 50% accurate as far as a best guess is concerned. So we're going to do high analytic Sell Score, apply, and that knocks us down to 78 results. So you have taken an area of 31,000 homes, and you've now narrowed it down to 78 properties highly likely to sell in the next year, have a high mortgage rate, have had the mortgage for a long time, and they're owner occupant. So these are 78 people you might really want to reach out to. Once you've curated your list and you've decided who you want to market to, you're going to hit Select All. You can see this little Select All button right here. All of those 78 properties are going to be in a list on the right-hand side, and you can toggle back and forth between the list view or the map-based view. But to save those properties, the number one thing you want to remember is you want to hit Select All, and you want to add them to a cart. So adding them to a cart allows you to pull the list in a CSV file and download it. It allows you to print off mailing labels, all that kind of fun stuff once you've saved it. So once I hit that cart button, you're going to want to name your cart. I'm going to name this one, let's just do Lender Pro Demo, create, and then I'm going to add those 78 properties to a cart. Once I've added them to a cart, you don't have to worry. They're automatically saved into your account and they're sent over here into the carts tab, which we'll go over in a second. Keep in mind, under the Lender Pro plan, you can save 10,000 properties in your carts at a time. So those are just a couple options of filters that you can use. You have access to all of these filters. So let's say you wanted to look for absentee properties, meaning you wanted to look for homes where we think there's renters inside and try to reach out to those renters and say, hey, you know, I know this neighborhood rents for about this much. Rates are super low right now. Why don't we see if we can get you pre-approved to buy rather than renting? So you can do that by searching for absentee properties, meaning we don't think the owner is occupied in the home and it's either vacant or somebody is renting the property. Once you've narrowed down who you want to market to, like I mentioned, it's going to go over into your carts tab, which we'll go over next. So no matter which filter you choose from, all you have to do is add it to a cart and that property is saved. Now that you have chosen the properties in which you would like to prospect to, you're going to click on the Carts tab over here in the left-hand navigation bar. Once you enter the Carts tab, you'll see all of your different named carts over here in a list on the left. And you can see that Lender Pro Demo that we just made is the first one up here at the top. Under Lender Pro Demo, you can see we have 78 properties. They're all listed here below. You can manage what kind of information you want to show. So things that are available are things like mortgage age, original loan date, loan type, original loan amount. You can see over here we already have lender name, source, state, zip code, bedroom, bath, owner, equity, all that kind of fun stuff. You can add by clicking the little plus button, and you can delete by clicking the little minus button. Hit save, and that's going to be all the data that shows in your list under the Carts tab. There's a couple things that you can do with this data. The first thing is we're going to hit this top square on the left to select all, and that's going to grab all 78 of the properties that we're looking at. You can then click Export. Export is going to take this list of 78 properties and it's going to download it into a CSV file onto your computer. You can name the file. Again, we're just going to call this Lender Demo. Can't spell. Lender Demo. You can choose if you want to include that contact information, if you want to include all information, or if you want to hand select what information you want to show in your Excel CSV file. Once you've named it, oh, see, mistake I made, no spaces, so I'm going to get rid of that space, name it Lender Demo, and now I can export this list. Once I hit export, it will let you know that it has been done successfully, and it will alert us once it's ready to download. So we're just going to give that a second, and we'll see once it pops up under the alert section. Another thing that you can do is you can hit more. Oh, see, now you can see our CSV download Lender Demo is ready. So you can download it here, or you can come down to the alert section and download it through there as well. But we're just going to get rid of this for now. Under More, you can print off mailing labels straight from Remine for these 78 properties. You'll choose if you want the property owner or current resident. You can choose if you want the property address or the mailing address, and then choose your label type. Hit Print Labels. And it's going to download it into a PDF for you down here at the bottom left, and you can print it off. Last but definitely not least on this page is send mailers. So send mailers is going to grab these 78 properties and it's going to pull them into our Rocket Print and Mail site. It's actually really cool because we have paid for a bulk rate for the entire United States, which means one, there's no minimum. You can send as many or as few postcards as you would like. And two, it's actually quite a bit cheaper than some other sites that you may use. So you can see here, I've got multiple different postcard sizes I can choose from. I can personalize them, make them all the same, or I can upload my own if you don't want to use Remine's templates. We have 78 pieces of mail for an estimated $51.48. That does include print and postage. You're then going to click on Choose Postcard Type. And it's going to take you into a menu where you can decide what kind of postcard you would want to send. So we have 2 different options that you can choose a design from, or you can upload your own. Once you hit choose a design, it allows you to choose all different schemes and colors that you can choose from. You can personalize it. You'll choose if you want priority or regular shipping, and then it will send within a matter of a couple days straight to your clients from Remine. And this is an added benefit and a feature included under your Lender Pro platform. We're now going to go back to the Carts tab, so I'm going to get out of that. Last but not least is the Contact section. So under the Contacts tab, this allows you to add different people. So this is me, Lauren Martin. This is my email, lmartin@remine.com. I can export contacts from here. If I added a contact under that property details page I showed you guys in the beginning, it would live here as well. You can manage the columns, add city, state, birthday. You can make notes if you wanted to. So I can toggle on notes and create notes on this contact. You can add different groups of contacts. So if you're prospecting a certain zip code and you're only looking at the leads from that one zip code, you can do it here as well. But that's really all that I have to show you guys today. I hope you learned a lot. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, my name is Lauren Martin. If you guys need anything, please don't hesitate to reach out. If you would like to upgrade to the Lender Pro version, if you're not on it currently, please feel free to reach me at lmartin@remine.com. We are running a special promotion right now as well that I'd be happy to talk with you guys about. If not, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe and happy farming. Thanks guys so much. Bye-bye.